what day is it? Thursday, yes, fantastic. Okay, let's, I have a couple demos here that we'll go through. So let's kick off this first one here. Okay, what's new in AI audio at Google DeepMind? I won't go into everything, although there's a lot happening in the AI audio world. But we'll start with kind of what's happening at DeepMind. Yes, I'm Thor. I work on the developer experience at Google DeepMind, so mostly on the Gemini API and Google AI Studio. Hallo, herzlich willkommen zusammen. Mein Name ist Thor. Haben wir auch ein paar Deutsche hier? Ah, wunderbar, sehr schön. Bonjour tout le monde, je suis Thor. Je suis très désolé, mon français c'est très mauvais. Konnichiwa, au revoir, writing da. No, okay. 大家好，我是住在美国的德国人。不好意思，我的中文还不好。谢谢你们来。Okay. We'll get back to that part in a bit. But okay. Yeah, Google DeepMind. A lot of things happening. You might have kind of followed along on the frontier model side. The Gemini 3 family of models. It's actually as old as my time at DeepMind. So I joined the day before Gemini 3 launched, so roughly 6 months ago now, 5-6 months. Yeah, since then, you know, the Flash variants, Flashlight, sort of the most cost-efficient kind of workhorse of the Gemini family. But then also very excitingly on the open model side, Gemma 4. Are people using open models in their productions? Anyone? Open source models? No? Not so much, okay. But yeah, Gemma is very exciting there because there's some small variants that kind of edge variants that you can run on device actually. So these are running on Pixel, you know, phones nowadays. On more modern phones, you can run them. And they're actually now multimodal, sort of natively, even on device, being able to understand audio, understand imagery, video. So that's really exciting. But then we also have a lot of, you know, Gen Media models. So you might have heard of Nano Banana, Gemini Image Pro, 3.1 Pro Image. Naming is not one of our strong suits. I do realize that. So everyone just remembers Nano Banana, which actually was a code name for kind of external benchmarking before the model launch, and then everyone just kind of stuck with it. So unfortunately, we don't have any fun names like that on the audio side. So I focus on the API, Gemini API, but focusing on the audio model. So we've launched Gemini 3.1 Flash Live recently. That's our real-time multimodal real-time model. Maybe folks have tried it out. That's a couple weeks old now. And the newest on our speech generation side is a Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS. Just a couple weeks old now. Our most expressive kind of speech generation model. We'll have a little listen later on. But so in terms of you know, kind of the foundation of all of it is sort of the audio understanding. And kind of our mission is sort of to build models that deeply comprehend, richly transcribe, and robustly reason through audio, seamlessly handling any mix of languages, dialects, accents, and modalities. Anywhere, always. So that's sort of the mission we have, and that is kind of the base research that goes into our frontier model, so the Gemini family of models. So Gemini is incredibly multimodal and has really good audio understanding as well, which is actually this first demo here. We can kind of look into that. So you know, different from sort of a pure ASR or transcription model, Gemini is a, you know, reasoning model, a thinking model, and so it actually understands you know, more than just sort of the context of the conversation. So kind of within one prompt of the audio, you know, we can actually get a summary of the audio, you know, obviously because we're understanding sort of what's going on. The other thing that's nice as well is, you know, I introduced myself as Thor, so the model understands, you know, there's different speakers, and we can ask it, okay, label, you know, the speaker as with their name if the context allows. Audio understanding also goes beyond, you know, just understanding the text, but also kind of the context. And so I told it, you know, give us sort of an emotion of the speaker. And you can see I'm very happy to be here with you today. So we're seeing this is happy here, and also the language. So we're seeing, okay, this is English. Now in German, normally I would say angry here when I speak German, but for some reason I guess I'm very happy to be here with you. But now the great thing is, again, the model is trained on many hundreds of languages. So we can actually tell it not only transcribe in the language that I spoke, but also give me the translation, because the model actually understands the context. And so we can see here, okay, we got the German translation, but also we got the German transcription, but also the German translation. Now you can see in French, I'm not so happy anymore. Normally I would say sad when I speak French, mostly because my French is not great. Je suis très désolé. I don't know if we have any Japanese speakers. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't understand the Japanese as much. Given my Japanese is not great. Let's see if my Mandarin is any better. So we can see here, Mandarin, I'm very happy as well. My wife is Taiwanese, so I think the Taiwanese people just speak very happy. And so, okay, I'm a German living in America. Sorry, my Chinese is not good yet. Yeah, thank you for coming. Okay, great. So sort of what I want to show you here is that, so this is just, Gemini 3 Flash. So not even the Pro model. Just the Flash model has very good kind of audio understanding. So including, getting out this information. So we're basically just told it, identify the distinct speakers, give us the timestamps, give us the language, give us the translation, give us the emotion, and also give us a summary of kind of what happened in the text. And so, we can get a lot of information out of the audio, even if there's kind of overlapping speakers. And so that is kind of the foundation for sort of everything we do in terms of audio and speech. And obviously that also goes into the speech generation. So our newest model is the Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS. And yeah, I'm sorry, the timing of this presentation is a bit unfortunate because next week is I/O. And so I can't tell you, all the things that are happening next week. So, this is a couple weeks old now, but maybe you haven't heard of it yet. Actually, have you heard of it? Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS? A couple folks, okay, not too many. It's doing decently well in the benchmarks. Obviously, benchmarks taken with a grain of salt. So this is kind of the arena quality ELO, which is basically just blind comparisons, preference comparisons of the same text being generated by different models, and then people just rating what they prefer. So it's doing decently well there. What's exciting now is, again, so it is a little bit different from maybe some of the other speech generation models because it has kind of that deep audio understanding from Gemini. So what that means actually in terms of how you can prompt the model is that you can really kind of set the scene. You can give it some context, right? You could even tell the model is like, oh, the speaker just got married, and then that would kind of affect how the model delivers the speech, right? So you can set kind of the audio profile, the scene, and then almost like a movie director would direct an actor. You can actually direct the model to speak in a certain way, to perform in a certain way. So that might be kind of breathing, pacing, style, accents as well. I love different accents, especially the Irish accent. I spent a lot of time in Dublin. And so even with kind of the limited set of, we have something like 30 base voices, you can actually, through prompting, get a lot of different sort of characters out there. We even tried this sort of like speak like a dog, and like the model would like, okay, how would a dog, say this? Or, speak like a vampire or Dracula or what have you. So, and now what's exciting as well, the audio text. So you can actually put these audio texts inside your bigger text to just apply kind of different styles to different sections, or have kind of whispering or shouting or laughing sort of in there. So I built this, this is kind of using Google AI Studio. It's like a vibe-coded, just sort of voice library. I can give you the slides later as well with kind of all the links. But so this is basically just kind of an AI casting sort of idea. And so we can see this here. So I basically just use Gemini to give it the metadata of sort of the different base voices that we have available. And so that's the gender, kind of the pacing, the accent of the base voices maybe. And then I give it sort of the best practice prompting guide, and then just ask Gemini to basically create a prompt for me. And so we can see here, this was kind of a friendly, high-pitched Irish person welcoming everyone to the Voice AI space in New York City. And so you can see we can kind of set the scene here. We have our director's node with kind of the vocal smile, Dublin, sort of strong Irish accent. And then we have sort of our excited audio tags here, some laughing. So maybe we can listen at that.
Welcome, one and all, to the grand opening of the Voice AI space right here in the Big Apple. I'm thrilled to see so many faces ready to hear what the future sounds like. So let's get this party started.
Yeah, let's get this party started. So what you can see here is like the actual base voice of this is this one.
What kind of problem could we solve?
So that's very different, right? And so, ultimately the Gemini has kind of the audio understanding of the different accents and the different deliveries, and then can kind of take that base voice and really shape it in sort of what you're looking for. Maybe another example, I spent a lot of time in Singapore. So we can have like a maybe Singaporean female here.
Wow, this queue so long. But never mind lah, the chicken rice here is the best one. You want to share or not? Quick leh, the auntie coming already.
So if you've been to Singapore, you might recognize that. It's a very specific way of talking, and I miss it dearly. Also the chicken rice. Although a lot of good food there. But so, as you can see, this one is Sapphire. So if you compare that to the base voice.
Ready to build something awesome today?
It's very different. And so that's kind of something to keep in mind that, even though we might not have, that many different voices in the library, you actually can get very different voices and characters through prompting. So that is sort of how that works on the Gemini TTS side. Now, this is probably sort of the biggest, everyone is excited about that. It makes for really great demos. We'll get into some of these as well. Sort of the native audio, or, kind of the speech-to-speech, real-time, conversational models. And so, with this, these models, they don't go through text for the thinking, but rather the thinking is baked into the speech model. So the model has the audio understanding, so it can understand all the different languages. It has the nuance, the kind of emotional context, sort of what we saw earlier, that we're able to get out of Gemini. Then it also has the reasoning and the thinking in the model. So we don't actually need to transcribe to text to do the reasoning and the thinking to then generate a response, but rather we're going sound to sound, kind of speech to speech. So that's sort of what we call native audio. And then as well, Gemini is very multimodal. So we actually have in the real-time capability, not just audio understanding, but also image video understanding. So we can actually send image frames to the model as well. And the model would understand, the sort of what's happening in the image, but then also the physics behind the movement in the image, and kind of can analyze that. So our newest model there is the Gemini 3.1 Flash Live. Has anyone heard of that one? Yes, a couple folks, that's great. So this is available on the Gemini Live API, so that's a stateful WebSocket API. So you create a session with some context, some system instructions, and then in real time you can send text, audio, as well as video frames to the model. The model will then analyze that, reason over that based on kind of the system instructions, and will respond back in real time with audio, as well as the transcript of the text. So here we're basically go the other way around, where the model is actually going speech to speech, and then we're just generating a transcript of what the model says rather than we're generating the text and then generating the speech. So it's a bit of, you know, a different setup here, which makes it a bit of more of a black box, because, you know, you can't really, you know, rewrite the text, for example. Some of you might be doing that in the cascading pipelines, right? Again, you know, benchmarks, not great. Take them with a grain of salt. Actually, there is a couple new entrants to this. I think GPT, so OpenAI just launched GPT Real-Time 2, which I think isn't in there yet. So this is the Sierra T-Bench kind of benchmark, which is sort of looking at certain tasks in, you know, kind of the voice AI space in terms of, you know, airline, customer support, sort of different tasks, and then kind of evaluates how well it does here. There's also, you know, kind of different reasoning levels, and so the reasoning levels actually affect the latency of the model, right? So if you're putting the thinking or the reasoning too high, the model will take more time to think. It'll give you a better response, but, you know, it will be slower. And so there's kind of these sort of trade-offs when it comes to native audio models. In terms of trying it out, you can very easily try it out. So this is kind of ai.studio/life. Maybe don't try it all out right now, because then we'll have a lot of things talking. But we can try it out. So ai.studio/life, which is kind of our playground sort of for you to try out these different models. And so we can, you know, again, here we can see kind of our base voices. So Puck, for example.
Got a project in mind?
You know, very sort of standard kind of American accent. But then what we can do is, again, you know, system instructions, we can actually have a system instruction. So we could say, maybe speak in friendly, if I could type, friendly Irish accent, right? We'll love the Irish accent. We'll just call this Irish accent. And then you can see, okay, our system instructions. Obviously this is kind of very, you know, not very specific. So we would obviously want to be more specific. But what's exciting here, you know, we have our thinking levels. We have function calling as well. So the model can, you know, call out to other systems to get out, you know, real-time information. So obviously the model has a kind of knowledge cutoff time. So what we can do is we have kind of this native tool called Google Search. So we can actually just enable Google Search as a tool call for the model to then be able to pull in real-time information when it needs that. So, okay, let's try this out. So we got Google Search grounding on. Hey, can you hear me?
Well, hello there. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you getting on? Anything I can help you with today?
Yeah, can you see me?
Ah, there you are. I can see you now, so I can. You're looking well. Can I help you with anything else now?
What does it say on my cap there?
Well now, let me have a look. Your cap says O.Studio. Would you be from around there?
I'm sorry, the cap is a bit washed out. What does it actually say?
Ah, my mistake. Now I see it clearly. It says AI.studio. Are you working on some fancy AI project, are ya?
Yeah, what do you think of my outfit?
I think it looks very comfortable and practical. The green shirt over the white t-shirt is a grand combination, and the cap keeps things casual. You look like you're ready for anything.
And
so
what's the weather today in New York City? Do I need an umbrella? Might it rain?
Well now, let me see. Looks like New York is having a bit of a mix today. Mostly cloudy with a good chance of showers, especially this morning. So I'd say play it safe and bring the umbrella, just in case. Better to have it, not need it, as they say.
So you could see here now, obviously the model doesn't know what's the weather right now. Wasn't trained on that because that information didn't exist when it was trained. So it would then use the Google search tool, and I'm going to blame the Wi-Fi for why it was taking so long there. But actually the Wi-Fi is pretty quick. But obviously once you have kind of tool calling in there, it'll affect the latency, which is interesting. But so yeah, this is kind of the Gemini Life, native audio, real-time speech-to-speech. Actually, what we didn't do is, which is kind of the language switching. So that's another great capability of the model. Hallo, kannst du mich hören?
I can hear you loud and clear. What can I do for you now?
Ja, kannst du auch Deutsch sprechen?
Servus. Ja, freilich kann ich das. Um was geht's denn heute?
Boah, diese, wo ich schon da, Nico schon sagen wir mal. No. It knows Trump is in China right now, so maybe it didn't want to go there. Okay, obviously live demos, always a chance, but so the model can kind of natively switch between the different languages there. Also, maybe I had the system instructed speak in an Irish accent, so it would actually then try to speak in an Irish accent in German, which, so you obviously need to kind of improve your system instructions there to make it more specific, when to apply accents and such. If you want to try this out, we have some good examples there. Gemini Live API. There's kind of client to server, server to server examples. These are really great. Now, if you're using coding agents, we have coding agent skills for the Gemini API. So you can use these in your, anti-gravity, Cloud Code, Cursor, what have you. It'll really help kind of, building real-time multimodal applications with sort of that context for your coding agents. How are we doing on time? No, we're not good on time.
Can you show something in 1 minute for this?
Yes. Okay. So we have music. Okay. Let's do the last demo then, because this is actually a cool one. So basically, we combine the real-time model with our music generation model to give us a real-time DJ to generate music on demand for us, right? So it has a function call to actually then generate music on demand. So let's give that a go.
Right then, welcome to the live jukebox. What kind of banger are we cooking up today? Give me the lowdown on the vibe you're after and any lyric ideas you've got floating around in that brilliant brain of yours.
Yeah, can we do some like traditional Irish folk music, but about the API Days conference in New York City?
Traditional Irish folk with a tech twist? Brilliant! So picture this, fiddles blazing and a boisterous...
Yeah, that's great. Let's go.
Hold your horses, mate. We need to nail down these lyrics first. Are we talking...
Just surprise me on the lyrics. Let's go.
All right, you're getting a surprise. Laying down a track with fiddles blazing, a proper folk rhythm, and the words all about making magic with APIs in New York. It's going to be an absolute banger, you just know it. Just wrapping it up now, hold tight.
The REST APIs are flowing free with microservices for all to see. The webhooks fire, the data streams. It's a developer's finest dreams. So raise a glass and sing hooray for API Days in the USA.
Yeah, well, thank you.
No worries at all, mate. Clap.
Yeah, the TPUs appreciate when you clap for them. Yeah, so the music generation model, good fun. Now, obviously, might not be so relevant for your business, but the tool calling in combination with the real time can be great. I didn't get to touch on sort of the native audio versus cascades. Obviously, you might have seen, everyone is launching kind of these real-time speech-to-speech models. So should you be jumping on the trend? I think for the time being, if you have like an enterprise use case, these native audio models are black boxes for now. And so I think the cascading pipeline for now, if you need kind of the observability, the ability to rewrite kind of safety checks, you're probably better off with the cascading pipeline for now. But I think very interesting to watch sort of what's happening in that space, and maybe next week at Google I/O. Yeah, with that, thanks so much, and sorry for running over. Cheers, appreciate it.